There is a kind of suffering we rarely talk about, the suffering we quietly create for ourselves, not through dramatic events, but through unnoticed habits of the mind. As the Buddha once said, nothing can harm you as much as your own thoughts. Most of our pain doesn't come from the world, but from the stories we tell, the memories we hold, and the expectations we cling to. The moment we become aware of these hidden patterns, nearly 80% of our emotional burden begins to dissolve. Sign number 1. You live in the past or the future. One of the most common ways we create our own suffering is by leaving the present moment without realizing it. The mind loves to wander back into the past, where regret lives, or forward into the future, where anxiety quietly waits. And the more we drift, the more disconnected we feel from the life right in front of us. The Buddha taught that the present moment is the only place where peace actually exists. Yet most days, our minds behave like restless travelers. We replay old conversations, wondering what we could have said differently, or we imagine future problems that may never happen. This mental time travel creates tension long before anything real occurs. Imagine you're sitting at home and one small memory appears, something embarrassing you did years ago. Suddenly your chest tightens, your mood shifts, and the whole day feels heavier. Nothing happened. Only a thought passed through, but your mind turned it into suffering. When we return to the present, suffering softens. When we breathe into this moment, life becomes simple again. Awareness is the first step, and that awareness leads us to sign number 2. Sign number 2. You resist reality instead of accepting it. Another hidden way we create suffering is by arguing with reality. It begins with a single thought. This shouldn't be happening. But that small resistance becomes the seed of frustration, anger, disappointment, and emotional pain. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from clinging and aversion, holding tightly to how we want life to be and pushing away what we don't want to face. When reality doesn't match our expectations, the mind tightens. We feel wronged, unlucky, or betrayed by life itself. Imagine planning a perfect day and suddenly something goes wrong, a delay, a comment, a situation you can't control. Instead of adjusting, the mind says, "Why now? Why me?" That inner struggle creates more suffering than the situation itself. Acceptance doesn't mean liking everything. It means softening the resistance that hurts you. It means letting reality be what it already is, so you can choose your response instead of fighting what you cannot change. Try noticing the next moment you feel tension. Ask yourself, what am I resisting right now? The moment you stop fighting reality, your suffering begins to dissolve. Sign number 3. You believe every thought your mind creates. Another subtle way we create our own suffering is by believing every thought that appears in the mind. The mind is a storyteller, constantly creating interpretations, assumptions, fears, and imaginary scenarios. And yet, as the Buddha once said, thoughts are like passing clouds. They drift in, they drift out, and none of them define the sky itself. But when a negative thought arises, we often treat it as truth. If someone doesn't reply to a message, the mind whispers, "They're upset with you." If you make a small mistake, it tells you you're not good enough. None of these thoughts are facts. They are mental shadows. Yet the moment we believe them, we feel worry, guilt, or fear, as if something terrible has already happened. Imagine walking into a room and someone doesn't smile at you. Instantly your mind creates a story. I must have done something wrong. And for the rest of the day, you carry the weight of that story, even though reality may be completely different. You suffer not because of what happened, but because of the meaning your mind created. Sign number 4, you keep holding on. when life is asking you to let go. One of the deepest sources of suffering is our inability to let go. We hold on to people who have already walked away in their hearts. We cling to emotions that have long finished teaching us. We grasp old identities, who we were, who we wish we were, who others want us to be. Every form of attachment becomes a quiet weight on the mind. The Buddha taught, you only lose what you cling to. When we hold on tightly, we don't preserve our peace. We destroy it. We try to freeze things that were meant to move and control situations that were meant to change. Imagine expecting someone to understand you in a moment when they simply can't. You hold on to the expectation, hoping they will act differently. But instead of finding comfort, you feel disappointment, frustration, and hurt. The pain didn't come from the situation. It came from the grip of your expectation. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing what no longer aligns with your growth, your peace, or your path. It means choosing freedom over fear. Sign number 5. You expect life to be easy, fair, or predictable. Life becomes much heavier when we secretly expect it to be smooth, fair, and predictable. Most people don't say this out loud, but deep inside, there's an unspoken belief. Things should go my way. When they don't, frustration appears. When they change, fear rises. When difficulty arrives, we feel betrayed by life itself. But the Buddha taught that life naturally includes change, loss, illness, aging, and challenges, not as punishments, but as realities of being human. Suffering begins the moment we believe we're exempt from these truths. Think of the last time something unexpected disrupted your plans. It wasn't just the situation that hurt. It was the expectation that things should have unfolded differently. When expectation and reality collide, pain arises. When we let go of how life should be, we make space for how life is. Acceptance is not resignation. Acceptance is freedom. It allows you to respond with clarity instead of resistance. It brings peace into situations where control is impossible. And once you understand this, your suffering naturally softens. These are the 5 quiet ways we create our own suffering, living in the past or future, resisting reality, believing every thought, clinging to what's slipping away, and expecting life to always be smooth. The Buddha reminded us, peace comes from within. And that peace begins the moment you see your mind clearly. When awareness rises, suffering falls. If these teachings brought you insight or calm, subscribe for more Buddhist wisdom and reflections for inner peace. May you walk gently, breathe deeply, and choose peace in each moment.